Solvang is a Danish-inspired town in Central California that holds one of the West Coast's largest Christmas tree burning festivals.
Here's the pile they're going to be burning later today. But before we see that, let's go explore some more of Solvang. First up, feeding the ostriches at Ostrich Land USA.
Ostrich Land USA is over 100 animals and it's been here since the 1990s.
Normally they're attacking the bowl, but I think they've been fed a lot today. They don't seem super hungry.
It costs around $7 to get in and then an extra $1 to add on some feed.
Usually the emus are more hungry. We'll try them.
The emus always seem to be left out since they're not as fun to feed as the ostriches, but even they were full today.
Feed this bad boy, or don't, since they don't seem to want the food. Oh, there we go, we got one.
Towards the end we got a few more bites, but I definitely recommend coming early in the morning and not on a holiday or weekend. It is a really fun experience to feed the ostriches if you're able to do it. From there we drove about 4 minutes into the town of Solvang to dive into some of the city's history. I purposely didn't introduce this museum on video as I had no idea how to pronounce it, and it's situated inside of a historic house. A couple built the house in the 1950s in a style that was designed to look like an 18th century Danish farmhouse. This house is supposedly one of the most authentic in all of Solvang, and the entire thing was built without using any nails. It's one of the only museums outside of Denmark that focuses on Danish culture, and even though it's small, it's well done and very worth the visit. Don't leave without going outside to see the historic diorama of the city. I think this is the coolest part of the museum. It's what Solvang looked like in the 1920s. There's the historic mission, so the tree burning will be right here tonight.
That's a cool museum, and I learned today that it is pronounced Elverhøj, but now we're heading down into town to find some Aebleskivers.
One of the best things about the city is just walking around the downtown area, and I recommend leaving your car at the parking lot near the windmill and heading out. If you're into shopping, there's all sorts of stores to look through, with some of the most unique being the shoe store and the toy store. For me though, I just wanted to head into the city to have some of the famous Danish treats since I got a lot of comments about how I didn't last time I made a Solvang video.
The original Solvang restaurant is the normal place where people go for those treats, but I decided to go down here because that's what the person in the museum told me, so we're gonna try these ones. All right, this is the famous Aebleskiver. It's kind of like a biscuit pancake type thing, and it has raspberry and powdered sugar. It's a lot of dough, but with the sugar on the raspberry, it actually tastes really good. Kind of wish I had glaze on it like a donut though, but I'm not upset.
I felt like it wouldn't be fair to my viewers to not go over to the Solvang restaurant, which is the most popular place to get these, and to do a completely scientific review of who makes the best version of this Danish treat that I'm probably mispronouncing and only had for the first time today.
I have to say, these look like it might be a little bit better. They got the jam right on top as well as the sugar. Oh yeah, they taste a lot fresher, good sweetness, definitely not as dense. I have to say, if I was gonna pick between the two, these ones get my vote.
Let me know your favorite place to get them in the comments, and we had one more thing to do before the tree burn.
Next up, we're heading into the Viking Museum. Whoa, that's already cool with that big boat.
I don't know what I expected when I came here, but this is a cool museum even though it's really tiny.
Not gonna lie, Odin looks a little bit like Gandalf.
Inside of the museum, they have a collection of Viking artifacts, some which are over 1,000 years old. The highlight though is the authentic Viking ship, which was built by the Viking Ship Museum in Denmark. So the sign says they have something called a berserker, which is a person who would run into battle completely naked to scare off their opponents. And this is an example of one. I don't know about you, but I think that would terrify me if I saw someone running at me like that. I will say this is an incredibly tiny museum for $5, but it has a lot of cool stories and interesting artifacts, so if you're into this type of thing, you probably enjoy it. There's also a small one-room amber museum on the other side of the store that comes with the price of the Viking Museum. With the sun beginning to set, it was finally time to walk over to Mission Santa Ines for the tree burning event.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited about this.
The Solvang tree burn has been happening for over 30 years and it takes place in the first week of January.
How many Christmas trees do you think are on this pile? Leave a guess below. It's a lot.
This signifies the end of the town's Julefest, and it's something that people come from all over to experience. They start gathering trees in the lot across from the mission on Christmas Day, and then people continue to bring them down till about an hour before the event starts. The event began with Boy Scouts doing a flag retirement before it moved into the fire safety demonstration. Before the burn, firefighters set up multiple different types of trees and showed how fast they go up in flames. I had seen this before, but I was still shocked at how quickly each of them lit up. The energy was high as the firefighters moved over to the big pile with people cheering and yelling and even saying "burn, burn, burn." I know it sounds dumb to say the fire is hot, but I was about 30 feet away at the front of the circle, and as soon as the trees lit up, it got unbearably hot. Almost everybody in the crowd started running or moving backwards to get away from the heat and to find a safe space about 50 to 75 feet away.
It is crazy how hot this is. It is a massive fire and it's hot.
From there, everybody just watched the burn take place, took photos, and just enjoyed being around a community at the end of the season.
This is definitely not something I thought I would ever see. It's a pretty unique experience to have at the end of the Christmas season.
They even found some more trees to add to the fire after it was burning, and I stayed for about 30 minutes and it looked like the fire would last for a couple hours.
Saying goodbye to the fire, heading back into Solvang to do a couple more things before ending this video.
On a recent list, Solvang was actually voted one of the most magical Christmas towns in the entire world, so before ending this video I wanted to head back into the town, explore some of the lights, and grab some dinner. If you've seen any of my previous videos, then you know I love the Copenhagen Sausage Garden, which is where I headed for dinner.
I was gonna go to ramen, but it was a 30-minute wait, so I'm here in sausages. Not a set about this. Cheers. Oh yeah, the mustard, the raw onions. Always good. All right, only one thing left to do, and that's to see the last light show for Julefest of the season in the park.
Right in the middle of downtown Solvang, there's a light and music show that happens every hour on the hour. It's a 10-minute show featuring many classic Christmas songs and modern renditions. While it's not the most intricate light show you've ever seen, it's still a lot of fun, and I wish I could play the songs here for you, but I'd get a copyright violation if I did. There's always people hanging out in the park, kids dancing in the gazebo to the songs, and families taking pictures with the Christmas tree. It's basically the perfect way to end your holiday season in Solvang, California.
After about 15 minutes, the show is over. That was a really fun day in Solvang. Hopefully you enjoyed going with me on this, and we will see you on the next video. I decided to come by the fire before I left, and it's still burning. Let's go check it out. It's been an hour and 20 minutes since I was here.
There were still about 100 people watching the fire burn down to its last embers. It was pretty impressive to see how it had taken that big pile of trees all the way down.
All right, now that's officially it. We'll see you on the next one.